I'll tell you somebody else who should be included in whatever attempts to find justice around this issue of overthrowing the U.S. government. And that is this crazy son of a bitch, Paul Gosar, another one from Arizona. What the fuck is Arizona? I mean, it seems like there has been a mixture of human and human DNA and Gila monster DNA, and the result have been some of these walking reptiles like Paul Gosar and Carrie Lake. I mean, who are these fucking people? But he is a representative from Arizona, Paul Gosar. And while other Republicans, cowardly little pricks, all of them, have pretty much been silent about Trump's call to terminate certain provisions of the Constitution so that he could overturn the results of the 2020 election and reinstall himself in the White House, well, Paul Gosar has spoken out about this idea. He supports it. On Twitter yesterday, before he deleted the tweet when there was a backlash, but he tweeted this, quote, "I support and agree with the former president. Unprecedented fraud requires unprecedented cure." That's what he put. I would say unprecedented assholes in the U.S. House of Representatives require unprecedented action to get them out. For example, taking them up to 20,000 feet in a C-130 transport and pushing them out the door. How would that be, Gosar? Trump responded to this release of the Twitter files last Friday, which mostly revealed what had already been known about the Trump organization's deliberations about, well, not the Trump organization, but the Trump campaign committee about the Hunter Biden laptop story. Ooh. And Trump wrote on Truth Social, that's his toy media platform, that, quote, "Massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the termination, of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution," end quote. Well, I told you what some of the squirmy little Christian fascists who were on the Sunday talk shows this past week and what they said. David Joyce was on ABC's This Week, and this squirmy little bastard said, quote, "He says a lot of things, but that doesn't mean that it's ever going to happen." And then another squeamy little bastard, a Republican member of Congress from New York, Mike Lawler, said, "Obviously, I don't support that." But Paul Gosar, this Nazi fuck, this up-front, in-your-face Nazi son of a bitch, Gosar from Arizona, one of the, if not the most prominent conspiracy theorists in the Congress, who earlier this year participated in a conference hosted by the Nazi Hitler-loving Nick Fuentes. Gosar didn't mince words at all. And the fact that Trump's called to tear up the U.S. Constitution, that the Republican Party used to pride itself on defending, well, that former political party, which is now dead and rotted, replaced by Christian demons, it now prides itself on defending a vocal audience in Congress that is calling for the end of democratic governance in this country. This is concerning, especially when you consider that Paul Gosar and his Nazi friends are now set to assume control in a manner of speaking, of the U.S. House of Representatives. It's going to be very tight control. I don't think they'll be able to do a lot of damage, but then when Hitler was made Chancellor of Germany, they probably didn't think he was going to do a lot of damage either, did they? Anyway, earlier this week, the orange vomit, this cowardly piece of shit, Donald Trump, seemed to get the idea that pushing for the Constitution to be burned might not be the proper message for somebody who wants to be president of the United States, right? And he tried to claim on his toy media platform, social platform, that he didn't actually say what he said. He wrote this on Monday, quote, "The fake news is actually trying to convince the American people that I wanted to terminate the Constitution. This is simply more disinformation and lies." End quote. Yeah, well, you deny. When you get involved in the big lie, you never stop pushing the big lie. You just, that's what Hitler said in Mein Kampf. You keep pushing it no matter, and the more outrageous you make the big lie, the more of a chance you have at succeeding if you keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, which is exactly what Trump is doing. I mean, here we are 2 fucking years after the election, more than 2 years. And this miserable prick, Donald Trump, just keeps talking about it as if it were the reality that he deals with every day. And you know what? I'm beginning to believe that he just might believe his own bullshit at this point. What do you think? I mean, isn't that one of the hallmarks of schizophrenia, is your concept of reality, or beyond that, the reality within which you find yourself, is all of a sudden strictly your reality. It has nothing to do with anything outside your own fucked up brain. And I sometimes think that that's what exactly has transpired inside Donald Trump's skull, is that he and his enablers have fed him so much just bullshit lie after bullshit lie that Trump has come to accept that as reality. That's one of the reasons why I think he is the most extreme danger to this country that this country has ever faced as a threat, whether external or internal, even a greater threat than the Cuban Missile Crisis was. Oh, I know, that's really pushing it, right? But I see Trump as, and his suck-ass enablers around him, as being that much of a threat, greater than that. I really do. Maybe they will all just keel over and die. Wouldn't that be great, huh? Oh, Jesus Christ. It's just so difficult to find anything involving Trump that even this aroma of reality or truth, it just can't be done. It's just not there. It's not there. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. You know, the Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.